It's a wonderful Friday. Good morning. You are welcome once again to our STEM series. Good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are joining us from. My name is Florence Tofa. I'm the director of Mobile Web Ghana, and I'm presenting from the American Corner Agbogba. American Corner Agbogba is part of the American Spaces around the world, and American Spaces provide current and reliable information about the United States. And we are doing this through book collection, internet access, events, facilitation, and other activities for everyone. Today, we are going to discuss a very important topic, and the title of the section is Effective Use of Social Media for Business Growth. Every business needs to grow. If you don't grow, then it means that you are actually stagnant. Facilitating this session today is our very own expert when it comes to social media, Gabla Godwin, a social media strategist, consultant, and digital strategist. Gabla, we are so happy to have you today. Gabla is a seasoned copywriter, social media marketer with over 8 years of proven industry experience. He has worked with hundreds of brands across Africa, Europe, America. Godwin is well versed with the topic of social media content, social media strategy, content marketing, copywriting. He has held several digital marketing training programs for businesses and their employees in Ghana over the past years. During this session, please feel free to post your comments in the comment box below. They will be addressed. Thank you for staying tuned. And now I hand over to Gabla. Gabla, I want to grow my business using social media. How do I do that?
All right. So thank you very much, Florence. Good morning, guys. Welcome to today's training. So one thing we know is that social media is a big platform for marketing businesses. People know that all the time because they've come across this on several other platforms. People keep talking about it, and then we know it's the reality. But how do you truly do that? Is it just about creating content and posting your content on social media? Is that enough to get you the growth you need? Now, I mean, in the previous, we had a training here on this particular platform about 2-3 months ago, where we talked about how to create effective content for your social media. So this is more of a follow-up to that training. Now, if you were in that training, you would have learned about how to create effective content using hashtag and content planning and all of that, right? But then after creating your content and getting the traffic you need to your social media platforms, how do you use that to grow your business? That's what we'll be looking at today. So quickly, let's start. Florence, please, can you share the slide?
She shows it from my end. Okay, sure.
Yes.
Give me a minute. Be going through them whilst I share it from here.
All right. Okay, great. Great. So the first thing in using your social media platforms to grow your business is identifying the right social media platform for your business. That's the very first thing you need to know. Now, we touched on that in the previous training though, but then there are 3 key things that you need to know when you are planning to use the right social media for your business. In truth, all businesses cannot use all social media platforms. And these three criteria will help you to determine the kind of platforms that you need to use for your business. The first one is to check what your competitors are doing. So if you're in an industry, you already have competitors. It can be direct competitors or people just within the industry. So you see the platforms that they are using currently. Now, there's a 99% possibility that the platforms they are using is also, it's also okay for you to use for your business. So if you are in the fitness space, and then you see people are using YouTube, they're using Instagram, and then TikTok for their posts, that it means those platforms may be okay for you as well. So that's the first thing to know. You need to look out for your competitors, try to find out the platforms they are using, and then list those down. That's the first step. Then the second step is to consider the content types you want to use. Now, you already have seen the platforms that your competitors are using, and you want to see you want to find out the ones that you can use. So that would depend on the types of content you want to create. Do you want to create video content? Do you want to create short videos? Or are you looking at shooting long videos? If you're looking at shooting long videos, then of course, some of the platforms like Instagram and TikTok may not really work for you, because those platforms, they work better if you have short videos. So if you want to create long videos, then your best choice is to go for YouTube, right? So that is one of the key things you need to consider as well, apart from, okay, great. So you have the slides now. So let's take it to the number one, identifying the right social media platform. Great. So these are the three things we are talking about. So check what your competitors are doing. That's the first thing I already spoke about. And then consider the content type you want to use. Do you want to use long text? Do you want to use just graphics? Or you want to create videos? This, of course, will depend on your budget and then the resources you have available. If you have resources to shoot long videos, then of course, you should go for YouTube. If you don't have the resources to shoot long videos, you want to do short videos, reels and all that, then of course, TikTok and Instagram may be perfect for you. And if you want long form text, then LinkedIn is the best one for you. But it also depends on what? The first thing we spoke about, which is checking what your competitors are doing. The last one is consider where your clients are most likely to be. Are you targeting the young generation? Are you looking at middle income earners? Or are you looking at professionals? Now, these people, all of these groups have particular platforms where they spend most of their time. So if you put these three criteria together, your platforms, the best platform for a business will be within these three. It should fall within these three categories, right? So if you're able to find a platform, then we can move to the next step, which is to integrate your business, your website into your social media. So one thing I keep telling people is that social media is not for you. You may have an account on Facebook, you may have an account on TikTok with over 30,000 followers, over 100,000 followers and all that. But those are not for you. You are just borrowing. You borrow the platform from somebody. So in a day, you can actually lose all your following, you can lose your account and all of that. And if you totally depend on that, then you're going to lose out. So if you really want to grow your business using social media, then you need to have a website. And this website should be integrated into your social media account. So for most people, this only means if you want to use buttons on your platform, the buttons should connect to your website. So you have learn more button, maybe sign up button, book a call button, all of that should be connected to your website. So when somebody takes an action on your social media account, it takes them to your website. Now there's a reason why we are doing this, and we'll see it in the next step. But the reality is that if you really want to grow your business with social media, all your actions shouldn't just be on social media. It should be connected to your website. Once you have this done, the next step is to offer a lead magnet, right? A lead magnet. So there's lead and then there is magnet. Now, when you talk of lead magnet is just any service or product, any free service or product that you're offering to people in advance. It could be just a bit of what you do in general, a portion of it that will attract people to want to connect with you. Mostly you do this in exchange for their contact. You want to get their contact details so you can reach out to them later. So you create a lead magnet. So lead magnets can be an ebook, it can be a checklist, a free consultation, free samples, or a free training that you're offering to these people. Now, the reality is that in the industry, you cannot just take somebody's contact information from anywhere and reach out to them. In some countries, you can actually be sued for that. So the person has to be willing to offer their contacts to you with the option that you reach out to them when you have special offers for them and all of that. And this is the only way you can get that, to offer them a value, something that is valuable upfront. Then to get that, they will be able to offer you their email or their phone number, right? So the lead magnet is what you use to capture them. It's just like when you go fishing, right? You need something to bait the fish to come out. So this lead magnet is like a bait that you're using to get people to offer their contacts so you can reach out to them later. Let's move on. So the next thing is to collect contact details to, come again?
You were off, but you're back now.
Oh, okay, sorry. Yes, so the next one is to collect contact details through the lead magnet, right? So you can collect contact details after this. After you have given the lead magnet out, you try to collect their contacts. Now to collect their contacts, you do what we call, you create an opt-in page. So an opt-in page is just, I don't know if I can share this. I think you're still on slide 3. It should be slide 4 now.
Okay. So should I unshare so that you share your screen?
Yes, yes, I want to share something.
Okay, please do. Do now.
All right.
So
great.
Continue to post your questions in the comment box.
Great. So I don't know if you can all see this.
Yeah, we can see, but you have to double click so that it becomes big. It's enlarged for us to see.
Can you see now?
No, I only see your laptop with your flyer and download and some other things, yes.
Sorry, I think. Okay. I think it should be okay now.
Yeah, it's working. Yes, good.
Great, yeah. So this is an example of an opt-in page, right? So it's just a page you create, it's just a single page you create on the website that leads to whatever service you want to offer for free or whatever product you want to offer for free. So this is from a life coach, right? This is for a life coach. So she's offering a 14-minute presentation, right? That will teach them how to codepend. That's it. So when you come here, you enter your name and your email, and then you get access to that 14 minutes video for free. Now, what happens after this is that she has all these contacts in her email list. So after this, she's going to target these people with marketing campaigns through email. So basically, this is just an example of, there's another one that I wanted to share, but I realized it's not that big. I know it didn't turn out the way I wanted. So this is basically an example. There are so many styles to create opt-ins pages, but then this is just one of them. And then some of the tools, I'll list them in the chat. Some of the tools you can use to create an opt-in page. We have lead pages, we have opt-in monster, we have ConvertKit, Seed Pro, HubSpot, and a lot of others. But then I personally use opt-in monster, ConvertKit, and then lead pages. So with those, you can create a simple opt-in page and add it to your website. And as far as you can now share your screen.
Okay, thank you. Bagabla, do you need expertise to be able to do this lead magnet thing?
Okay, yes, okay, fine.
I mean, when it comes to Q&A, we would go through that, but now the screen is up.
Okay.
Yes.
So I think we're on slide 4.
Yes. Okay. Good.
All right. So what you said about what you asked about creating the lead magnet, it depends on the kind of lead magnet you want to create, of course. If it's a product that you already have, that you want to offer a session of it, then you really don't need anybody to help you create that product. But if you want to maybe shoot like what you just saw now, a 14 minutes video, of course you need experts to come around and shoot the video for you. Then if you want an ebook, you probably need someone to write the ebook and then do the design and all of that. If it's a checklist, you need someone to create the checklist for you. Okay. But then all these things are things you can do if you already have the expertise in them.
Okay.
For some people, even a lead magnet can mean a 15 minutes consultation, free consultation. And for that, you don't really need anybody to design anything for you. Yeah, so it depends on the kind of lead magnet. Like I said, there are several lead magnets. You have to look at your audience and then determine what will bring them to you. That would become your lead magnet.
Okay.
So like you can see there, you can also offer a subscription, right? You can, maybe you say, subscribe to my newsletter. Maybe you have something in your newsletter that people really want to see. That's also a lead magnet. Instead of maybe creating a lead magnet itself, your lead magnet can just be a subscription to your email newsletter.
Okay.
All right. So let's move to the next one. Great. Then now you have these people's contacts. It can be probably collected their emails, their phone numbers, and all of that. We can now tailor campaigns to them. You can have direct communication with them. Now you don't have to go to them through social media anymore. Because in reality, these social media platforms work in a way, especially Facebook and Instagram. They have a very funny way of operating. Now, if you have about 1,000 people following your page, organically, you can only reach about 100 people if you post. Out of the 1,000 people, you can only reach about 100 people organically when you post. So that means you are losing out on about 90% of your followers every time you post. But if you have them directly in your email, you have their contacts directly in your email, you have their phone numbers, you can always reach out to them directly. You don't have to go to social media anymore. So that's why it's important that you have a website and then you have the lead magnet and the opt-in page all set up in a way that you can convert these people to people you have on your email list or you have their contacts directly. Let's go to the next slide. Great. So this is where you actually sell to them. Now you know them. You've been communicating with them for a while. If they're on your email list, you send them emails from time to time, trying to maybe talk to them about your products and then how it's going to help them. You understand, some of them will respond to your emails. You call them, some of them will talk to you on phone. So you get to know these people directly. Then at this point, you can now give them special offers and discounts that work towards their needs. So you have personalized communication with these people, and you can now give them special offers. So for instance, if you've been talking to someone, you've been talking to them through email, and then one person comes to you and says, oh, maybe you're offering a coaching service. They come to you and say, I'm really interested in this service, but then because of the pricing, I'm in a tight situation right now, you are charging 1,000 cedis for this, but I only have about 700 cedis because of this and that situation. Now you have personalized communication with this person. So you can give them a special offer of 30% off. And then they can buy that service for what? 700 cedis. Originally, if you are only depending on social media, this person wouldn't even come to you at all because, I mean, if you're marketing, you're selling something on social media for 1,000 cedis, and the person wants to buy for 700 cedis, they will feel reluctant coming to you. But because you offer them something and now they are part of your inner circle, they can come to you and say, well, I really want this, but then I don't have the 1,000 cedis, I have 700 cedis. Then you give them something that works for them. Yeah, so that's the very last stage of it. So once you collect their emails, and their contact details, you reach out to them directly, you give them the special offer and discount. That is you growing your business. I mean, the basic reason why you're running your business is to make sales and grow. So the more you make sales, the more your business grows. And this is just it. Now, there are things you need to know about social media for business before you go into it. You need sales more than anything else. People dwell so much on the likes and comments and maybe the followers they have on social media. Apart from influencers and people who are just content creators, businesses really don't need so much of that. What you really need is the sales. So if you're able to, even if you have 10 people following you, 10 people liking your post, and you're able to convert about 6 of them every time, your business is more successful than somebody who has over 1 million followers and can only convert 10 people. So on social media for businesses, your focus should be on the sales more than anything else. Even though your content will try to educate and all that, the process is just to attract these people to come to you. But at the end of the day, what you really want is what? Sales. So your strategy should be focused on what? Sales. So like just that, don't be too concerned about followers. Yes, don't be too concerned about, of course, followers count at a point, but don't be too concerned to the extent that you are going to buy fake followers so people can see you have followers. That's not really what you are in for. Except maybe you want to partner with brands in the future. Maybe you want to have a partnership with brands that will pay you to post for them. That is you being an influencer. Then you don't really need followers so much. What you really need is the sales. So that should be your main focus. That Facebook and Instagram will give you enough organic reach as a business. I've already spoken about this. So what you really need is to integrate paid strategies into your marketing, your social media marketing campaigns. Because like I said, Facebook and Instagram only give you about 10% of your reach. 10% of your reach. So you will need to, if you want to go extra, then you will need to pay for ads and all of that. Then TikTok is a gold mine for most businesses. TikTok recently, they started their own ad platform, so people can run ads on TikTok now. And now, initially when it started, it was some way. So when you run ads on TikTok, you may not get the results you want. But at this point, they've made it so cool that you can get a lot of traffic from TikTok without spending so much as you would on Facebook and the rest. And then this traffic is so quality because the people watching your videos on TikTok or people you're targeting on TikTok they are so niche that if you want to get people in a particular niche, you always get them. So it's a gold mine, and the price is so affordable. You don't need to pay so much for that. The last thing is to automate your sales system through social media. To automate your sales system. If you really want to grow your business, then you need to work on automations. That is why we have this. It's a funnel. So if you want, you have chatbots on your social media platforms. When people come to you, instead of you being online all the time attending to them, you can just have your social media inboxes automated. When people come, they ask questions, then they get a link to your website, takes them to the opt-in page. You're not even involved in any of this. These things just happen automatically. Once somebody discovers your account and comes, you have a system in place that takes them through all the phases. So the only place maybe you would be involved is in communicating with these people. So you are reducing your workload by a whole lot, and then you can focus that on producing more products or maybe rendering services to the people that really matter. So automating your sales system is very, very important for any business that wants to grow. So yeah, so basically that is it for how to grow your business using social media in today's world. So if you have any questions, you can just drop them and then we'll look at them now.
Yes, we have a lot of questions already, and we'll start from the comments you made about we shouldn't focus on the followers, but we know that where we live in the world today, I mean, if I see that Gabla has 50,000 followers as a business, it creates some impressions, and we link the followers to credibility as well. What's your stake on that?
Yes. Like I said, of course, you will need the followers will become your client. So of course you need followers, but it shouldn't be the main focus for your business. What you said is just what everybody thinks. But you, the insider, the one running your business, you're not really focused, or you're not really thinking about the followers that much. Of course, when people see you with so many followers on social media, they know you are real, you are authentic. So they're going to come to you. But that really works for some kinds of business, especially e-commerce. If you want to buy from someone online on social media, maybe the person sells shoes and all that, you're going to look at their following first. So for such businesses, of course, they should focus more on that. But there are businesses that don't have even up to 100 followers on social media, but they are gaining a lot of money from just the 5 clients they are getting from social media every month. So the focus should be on the sales you are getting rather than the number of followers you have, except it's very necessary for you. Now, the reason I said that is that people want to pay for following. Like people pay, there are companies that say you can pay maybe 1,000 cedis and then we will give you about 5,000 followers. Now, these followers are all bots. They're not real people. Even if they're real people, they're not people who are engaged with your account. They are not people interested in what you do. They are just there because you paid for them to come. So that would be a problem. But if you have about 10,000 followers and they're all people really interested in what you do, then of course it's good for you. It only means you are more likely to make money from these people. So that is why I said what I said about not really focusing on the followers. It doesn't mean you shouldn't really go out there looking for followers. Of course, if you have good content on your social media platforms, very educational, offering value to people, they will share and then more people will come following you. Yes, so so basically that is it about the kind of your focus should be on whether it should be on the sales or it should be on the number of followers that you have. If you have any more questions, you can just drop them in the comments and then we'll address them. I think we lost the host a bit. Great. So I see a question here. Someone's asking about how does one set up auto responses. So luckily, most of the social media platforms now, I think Facebook and Instagram and a couple of others, once you create a business account on these platforms, you have an option to set up automated responses in the settings. So when you go to settings, there is the messages column, and then you can actually set your own questions that people ask frequently asked questions. You can ask these questions and then you set answers to them. Now in these answers, if you need to insert links, you can just insert these links all together. So when somebody comes, they click on the question, then the answer pops up, and then through that, they can take whatever action that is required. So it's really easy to set up on most of these platforms, especially, I know Facebook has it in detail. Facebook has the whole setup for it. You can even spend about 20 minutes setting up that up because there are a lot of options to choose from. For instance, when you're away, when somebody comes to your platform, the kind of messages they should receive. If you're busy with other stuff, maybe if you have a campaign running, the campaign should have its own messaging that people receive when they come to the platform, and then it takes them through the whole process. So you can have, like, there are a lot of options for you to set up these responses, especially on Facebook. Now, aside from these, there are also platforms, the companies that deal in chatbots, so they can create chatbots for you that you integrate in these platforms as well. But of course, those will be more expensive. So you can just go with what is provided on the platforms themselves for now.
Okay, thank you, Gabla, for that answer. You mentioned that social media or Facebook, to be more specific, Instagram, they give us only 10% reach. If that is the case, why should we still focus on social media as a business? I mean, if we don't have money, especially for startups that have little budget to spend on ads to get a bigger reach, why should startup or people who are starting businesses, if it gives us only 10% reach, why should we still focus on social media?
All right, great. So before I tackle the question, I mean, Facebook and Instagram and all the social media platforms, they are businesses too. They're in it for the profit. Now, if they give you the total reach you need, imagine someone who has about 1 million followers on Instagram. If every time they post, they reach the 1 million people, do you think they'll really want to pay for ads anymore? Of course not. And then Facebook will eventually run out of funds because they won't have business anymore because everybody's just getting what they want. So once you're able to get followers, that is it. You don't need to pay for ads anymore. But they need recurring businesses. So that's why the limits came. And then I think it keeps going on from time to time because previously it was around 20%. Now it's going down. So eventually we may even have about 5% coming through. Now, to answer your question, social media is like, it's the whole package. It's a whole package. That is where everything goes on. Everyone you need is on social media. If you don't want to go to the radio stations, you don't want to go to the traditional marketing channels, then social media is the go-to for you. So businesses still need to use social media. You just have to be smart about how you're going to use your social media. That is why we amped up. That's why today's training is on how to grow with social media. Imagine that you're always running ads and then you still keep those people on social media, the same platforms where you get them. Next time you have to run ads to get new people again. At the end of the day, you just keep spending money without getting results. But with what we are saying, you are moving these people away from social media into your own space. So the next time you run ads again, you're moving new people to add to your list. And these lists are for you. They are for you. You can always use them when you want without having to pay anybody else. Also, new businesses can rely on partnerships. If your own platform has about 1,000 followers, you have other people who have about 2,000, 3,000 followers, and their audience is almost the same as yours. You can partner with these people. So when you post, they are going to reshare that, and then it will reach more people. That's another way to look at it too. Then also the quality of your content also counts. Now, these social media platforms really want, what they get money from is the attention that people give to their platforms. And the only way they get that attention is if the content on the platform is good. So if you are posting content that people really love to read, then of course you may have a higher reach than the average business. Because if you post and then people are liking, commenting on your post, they are sharing the post, then it gives the algorithms the belief that this content is really good. Let's push it a bit higher. So you're going to get new reaches. So these are all things that should be factored into how you approach a social media game. It doesn't mean because your reach is limited, you just move away from social media. If you move away from social media, where are you going to? Are you still going back to the streets to look for people?
We'll go back to the traditional media.
And pay a lot of money.
Yes, traditional media is very expensive. Yeah. Yes. But Gabla, on another note, why do you say TikTok is the gold mine now? And I think you highlighted a few points that now they've tweaked the algorithm and their ad is cheaper than other social media networks. Another school of thought thinks that TikTok is for some audience, like some class of people, like youthful people who are not, I mean, is it for every business? Now that you've mentioned it, I'm sure that I want to go there and start doing things on my own. But is it for every business, even though you've mentioned that it's a gold mine?
All right. So I think this point, your question has already been answered in my earlier presentation. It all depends on the right platform for your business. Like I said, so if the right platform for your business TikTok, then you need to really exploit it, like use it, because very soon, maybe in a few years to come, they'll also be like Facebook where they'll limit the reach and all of that. And then you have to pay so much for the ads to go. So at this point, it's a gold mine for those who can use it. For instance, if you're in the beauty industry, you are in the beauty and cosmetics, health and wellness, and all of that. Your audience is on Instagram, on TikTok and Instagram, right? So use it to the barest minimum. Just use it. Just get the results out of it now before it becomes like the way Facebook and the rest are. So the first thing is to find out if TikTok is the best platform for you, which I've already explained in the earlier stages of the presentation. And then after that, you can now decide how much you want to splash on ads on that platform.
Okay, Gabla, thank you for that question. I think you mentioned that determine which platform is good for you, and then you can dive deep and do ads or sales or marketing on that platform. But I also want to ask this very important question. You mentioned that, and for me, it has always been a question on my mind when it comes to social media. Like, even when you do ads, the conversion rates can be so low. Like, I want to get the maximum benefits from social media. Like, organically, it is impossible because I only get 10% reach, even if I have 5,000 followers.
Yeah.
How are there some tips and tricks that businesses can actually use to really maximize the returns on investment when it comes to social media?
All right. Yes, there are a lot of tricks. I wouldn't say tricks, just tips that you can use. For instance, if you're running ads on social media, the amount you need to spend per day or on your results mostly depends on the locations you are targeting with your ad. So there was a time I was running ads for this Ghanaian company that wanted to target audience in the US. And because they were running ads in Ghana with $5 budget daily, they were hoping that they could use the same $5 to target audience in the US with almost the same result. When I told them it wasn't possible, they said I should try. Then we tried. With that $5, we were not even able to reach about 50 people per day because of the industry and the locations we were targeting. In Ghana here, people don't really spend so much money online. So because of that, the CPC, the cost per click and all of that is very low for Ghanaian and some other countries. But if you're looking at the US and some other countries, and then you want to spend on ads with them, then you should be looking at from $20 per day to $30 thereabout, because those people spend a lot of money. So their cost per click is very high. The people we are competing with are willing to spend a lot more money. So if you are spending less money, you are not likely to reach the audience you want. So you have to look at the location and then its equivalent in terms of the amount you want to spend per day. And apart from that, the targeting also counts. How are you targeting people? Are you just doing it generally? Now, Facebook, for instance, has some special machine learning tools that you can just use. In fact, if you don't even know how to target people, Facebook can help you target people now. So that is a lot better now. But then the strategy itself is also important. For instance, if you want to run ads to get, maybe you are new to the business world, and then you're trying to run your first ad and you just want to get sales from it, you are very likely to fail with that. It has to be a process. So you have to go through the awareness phase, then you go to the consideration phase, and then you go to the conversion phase. So you have to run a general ad so you try to see which people are really interested in this thing that you are going to offer. So with that, you're not really looking at sales. You just want to see how the market will appreciate what you're bringing across and see the kind of audience that are really going for this. Then you can now build a custom audience out of that. Then with a custom audience, you can now go for the real kill. So you know that when the people you're targeting now are really people who are interested in this, and then you'll be able to get sales. Now, the more people are interested in the service you're offering through their engagements with the post, the better your ad is likely to perform. That's not the only way, though. There are about 10 different factors that affect how much you spend on an ad. But if you know these things, then you can really lower the amount you spend on ads and then maximize your results. So you need to find out, there's a whole lot of things, right? The quality of your ad, maybe if you are using a video, how quality is it? Is the content engaging? The size of the video, the quality of the video itself, and all of that, they all count. And then if it's a photo or a graphics, maybe an image with text on it, how is the text to image ratio? Is the text more than the pictures on the thing? Are you using things that you shouldn't, like elements that you shouldn't be using on the graphics and all of that? They all contribute to how your ad performs. So in reality, I always say, if you want to run an ad as a business and you know you're not really good at this, you should get an expert because they understand how these things work. The amount you spend on an expert will be less than the amount you waste on running an unsuccessful ad. So I feel this should be something that businesses should be looking at.
Okay, so now let's dive a bit into the ads itself. I mean, you've mentioned some interesting things that I think there's a lot of businesses don't take into consideration. So you mean that the pictures or the graphics we post during ads has some connection to how well the ads perform?
Yes, it does.
Any statistics, anything to, like, I'm really thinking, so if I just post a picture and I write a few words, that would affect how the ads perform. Is it something in the algorithm of Facebook or how Facebook is structured? If it's a video, they're able to determine the quality of the video. Is it the words of the video? Like, let's dive deep into that one.
All right. So Facebook, not only Facebook, all the social media platforms that run ads, they have their advertising guidelines. They have their policies. So if you look deep into those policies, all these things are stated there. That is why I say the experts know what they are doing, because they have studied this for so long and they know all these things. They can just tell you this will not work. How about we try this? How about you try that? For instance, if you're on Facebook, if you want to use a graphic where you have text and pictures, if you have so much text and just something small as a picture, I think the ratio should be, it should be 20 to 80. So the text should just be about 20% of the entire graphic. So if yours has so much text than the image itself, what happens is that your ad will underperform. And Facebook will notify you ahead of time that what you are using isn't suitable, so you may not get a result you want. And you see it from the estimations given to you. The estimated reach and then the estimated clicks and all of that will reduce. The same way, if you want to run an ad on Facebook and then you have a button on it, maybe a WhatsApp or a call button, call now. That thing isn't something someone can click on. So it's deceptive. So Facebook considers that as deceptive. And what happens is that will also reduce your reach. And it can even cause your account to be banned, your ad account to be banned. So all these things contribute to it. And then the video, there are a lot of placements on Facebook. If you want to run an ad for and Instagram as well, if you want to run an ad from Facebook to Instagram, that will be running on both platforms at the same time. The placements on Instagram are not the same as the placements on Facebook. So some placements on Instagram, what they're smaller. So the size of the video should be smaller. But on Facebook, the size should be bigger. So you have to create the video in such a way that it fits into both categories before you can actually use them perfectly. If not, you run the ads, you spend a lot of money, but then you won't get the reach you need. Meanwhile, somebody with the same campaign, the same amount of money, the same budget and all of that, but different video types, will be able to get more results than you will. So at the end of the day, it's just about understanding the guidelines and then fitting your ad campaigns into the guideline.
Back to TikTok ads, you've mentioned that it's a site is interesting for people. The TikTok ad that businesses, that this is the prime time for businesses to go, businesses that have their audience on TikTok. What is so interesting and exciting about the ad that should encourage businesses to go there?
Yes, like I said, TikTok ads is basically very new, just about a year or so. So it's just like any new business. When they launch a business, they want to really counter their competitors. So they are giving you special offers. They're giving you special prices at the moment. So it means even with $1, you can get more results than you will get on any other platform. And TikTok is the fastest growing social media platform currently. So it means the audience will always keep increasing over the next couple of years and more. So until then, they won't really limit the reach that much. They will just try to get more people to come, more advertisers to come in and all that. So this is the time to go in and scoop out all the money before it becomes as big as Facebook and the rest are. That is the point. And then also, TikTokers tend to like TikTok ads more because mostly the ads on the platform are very interesting. People like those kind of ads. So it makes it very good. Like people on Facebook now, people skip ads a lot because the ads are no more interesting. It's very saturated. There are lots of people running ads and it doesn't really make sense anymore. But on TikTok, because it's a new experience for people, they're enjoying it. So people are watching ads. And then once you watch the ad, of course, it will attract something in it to attract you. And then you would want to take part in whatever they're offering. So that is why I said it is the time for people to really go in for TikTok ads at this moment.
Really interesting discussion. And I hope that as a business, I would definitely look into TikTok and see how I can benefit from TikTok. And now there's a question about automation. You mentioned that, we should automate this entire processes. There's a question about the ease of automation. How easy is it to automate the entire process when you are using social media? Is it very easy? Is it something that somebody who is a novice, somebody who hasn't done it before, can you give us an instance? And of course, you showed us a couple of other things we can use to collect emails and other things so that we can have a one-on-one interactions with our clients or customers. But when we are using social media, how can we automate the entire process and free ourselves and have a good time to connect to our customers?
All right. So I think I really spoke a bit about this earlier, though. Somebody spoke about that. The question was really about auto responses, like when somebody comes to you on Facebook, on Instagram, and then they want to communicate with you. How do they do that when you're not really there? And I explained that when you are a business, when you have a business account, there are settings in this social media platform that you can just use to set up auto responses. So you can set up a lot of it by just going through the steps, the processes there, and then setting them up. But there are more advanced ones that need experts to handle. Like they need to build these platforms into your social media account. So those ones also exist. Now, you speak about the whole process, automating the whole process. When we did the previous class, the previous training on creating social media content, I mentioned some tools that people can use to kind of automatically post on their social media platforms without having to be involved in the process. I think I mentioned Buffer, I mentioned HubSpot, I mentioned Social Bees, Content Studio, and a couple others. Now, all those things, with all those, you can actually just post, you can just schedule everything in those planners, and then you go off. Once the time comes, they will automatically be posted on your social media platforms. And for Facebook and Instagram, you don't even need any external tools because with Meta Business Suite, you can they have their own internal planner. Facebook has its own automatic scheduler in there that you can just go and then dump all the content there with the time and date. Then once those times and dates come, the post will be sent to either Facebook or Instagram from there. So with that also takes the responsibility off your shoulder of having to check the time to post and all of that every day. And then with the inbox automation too, you get to leave that side. So when somebody comes to your social media account, they can just interact with you, even if you're not there, using the prompts that are in the inbox. The other side will be the email automation, which I've already mentioned some of the tools that you can use to collect the email. But then the email process itself, sending out email to people, there are tools you can use to automate this as well. So when it's time, maybe you can have, there's a way we set it up that maybe you say every 3 days, an email should be sent out to these people. So there's a workflow that you use. There are lots of them. There are tools that you can use. There is Active Campaign. There is Send in Blue Active Campaign. There is OmniSend. There is MailChimp. All those tools are there that you can use to automate the process.
Okay, thank you very much for this beautiful answer. Thank you for all of you joining us on YouTube today. We can see you on YouTube. Thank you. We see you joining us from Agbogba, Oyarifa, East, and different places from all around the world. Thank you for joining us. We have a question on YouTube and two questions. So I'll just give you all the 2 questions for you to answer. How can one direct business ads to particular cycles of groups on social media? And the second question is, what are the demerits of inorganic followers on business pages on Facebook? And this is coming from Aruna.
So the first one, I think I didn't get the first one.
Okay, so the first question is, how can one direct business ads to particular cycles of groups on social media? So I think what he means is that, so maybe if you have university students, university groups, you want to reach university groups, is there a way to target the ads specifically for these groups? Okay. Hopefully, so that's what you mean.
So if I truly understand what you say, there is a way you can do this that I already spoke about. That is where you create the custom audience. So that's why I said first, if you want to run a campaign, maybe you want to sell a service to university students, you run a general awareness campaign that would target people in schools and all of that. But then the messaging of your campaign should be targeted towards university students. Now, people who will react to this ad, it means these people are really in that industry, or they are there, they are in school, they are in university at that time, right? Then out of that, you can create a custom audience through your ad manager that would look like, I mean, you create a lookalike audience. We call it a lookalike audience that resembles people who have already responded to your ad in a way. And there's a 99% assurance that these people are really in school at that time, because now Facebook can use machine learning to get people who are similar to those people. So when you run a next ad, those people will be targeted. That way you can reach out to the particular group. Of course, it's not 100% sure because it's still machines working. So if somebody has maybe a University of Ghana on their profile, maybe they've never been to the university before, that person will also be targeted because it's just a machine working. So you may not get 100% assurance, but then with this, it's better than just running the ad generally and expecting that you will reach that audience. Then the second one is about the effect.
I've seen people who have written on their profile that they are uni students, they are not, like they are managers, they are not. So that is the disadvantage of targeting specific groups.
Yes. So that is why you need to first run the awareness campaign. The awareness campaign will let you know which people are really interested in this. Then based on that, you can create a lookalike audience. And the lookalike audience is more specific than just the general one. The next question is the effect of inorganic, I didn't get it, I think inorganic followers on business accounts.
Yes.
All right, great. So what happens is that there are 2 ways to look at it. If you say inorganic, can be fake followers, and it can be people you bought, like you paid Facebook for. Maybe you run ads.
Facebook, yes, through ads.
Okay, is that what it's talking about?
Hopefully, yes. So inorganic.
I'll address both. So so for fake, if you have bots, people like bots who like your page, you paid for that. What happens is that the algorithms are updated, the social media algorithms are updated almost like every month. So Facebook notices some of these behaviors, Instagram notices some of these behaviors, LinkedIn notices some of these behaviors, Twitter notices. So once they notice, they'll update the algorithm to flash out such things. So they target accounts that have such followers. And what happens is that they further reduce their reach. So if you're an account that has a lot of fake followers and then the platforms realize, they will limit your reach even further. When you post, nobody will see, unless you run ads with it. But then if you have organic followers, everybody's organic, you didn't get them from anywhere else, you are more likely to get a higher reach than other accounts. So that is the disadvantage of having fake or inorganic account followers on your account. And also at the end, one day you can just have your account deleted. As they continue to update the algorithms, one day they'll decide that they want to clear accounts that have such followers. Like it's happening on Twitter now. Twitter, if you have fake followers, they'll just tell you, they'll just send you an email one day telling you they realize some irregular activities on your account, so they're taking you down, and that's it.
Beautiful. Thank you very much, Gabla, for that concluding remark. And I think that as businesses, as startups around the world, we've learned so much about how to use social media to grow our businesses through ads, through organic followers, and also doing targeting well, and also knowing more about the current opportunities that are available, like the TikTok ad that he mentioned. I'm sure that all this will help us as businesses to really grow our various initiatives that we are running. And I really want to thank you, Gabla, for this wonderful session. And this brings us to the end of a wonderful year of series of digital series. And we are glad that you've stayed with us throughout the year. This concludes our program. But before we leave, I want to introduce you to eLibrary USA. And if you've been joining the session, you would know that we are constantly talking about the eLibrary USA. It's a state-of-the-art digital library with 9 premium electronic databases that includes digital newspapers, magazines, journals, videos, and dissertations. Usually, it's available in person at American Spaces, but now you can subscribe to it. Please do sign up, subscribe to it, or reach out to any of the American Spaces and then request for it. This program, as you all know, was brought to you by the U.S. Embassy Ghana, American Corner, Agboba, a partnership with Mobile Web Ghana. That concludes our program for today. Follow us on YouTube and encourage your friends and people to follow us at U.S. Embassy Ghana for more amazing virtual programs. And thank you. This brings us to the end of the program. We wish you a very fruitful festive season. Enjoy and stay safe. And we'll meet